fuck it, second YouTube video, let's run it. So there were some things with the first video that I didn't even clarify. So I was sitting by Pura Vida, by the spot that we normally chill at after a training session. All the guys left, Wes, Nick, Gas, and it was just me and Clinton, and we were talking. So obviously I'd done the podcast with him, and we were just talking about YouTube and whatnot, and he goes, bro, Rudi, like, you should start your own YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh, look, like, I guess so. He's like, I've got an idea, 1 second. So he pulled his phone out, right? And it was his Instagram story, and he just started saying, hey guys, I'm with Rudi Garcia, and he just told me that today he's gonna drop his first YouTube video. And he goes, what do you think, Rudi? And I'm like, this motherfucker, what do you mean I gotta drop a YouTube video today? Fuck, like. But hey, he pushed me to do it. And that's what the fuck is up. You've got to have those people around you that are gonna push you forward. Sometimes we all just need a little push. We know exactly what needs to be done, but we just need that little bit of push. We need someone to hold us accountable to make sure we get it done. But anyways, that was the last video. And I'm watching it back, I kind of went all over the place. So more with my story and why I decided to start online coaching when I did was for what online coaching done for me. Because honestly, the gym saved my life. Fitness saved my life because it was there for me when other people were not. It was the only thing there for me for such a long period of my life. I was training, I was eating clean, but I wasn't getting anywhere. And it wasn't until I decided to invest into myself through hiring an online coach that looked how I wanted to look and lived the life that I wanted to live, that I really started to see profound changes and results in my life. And that was the big reason, one of the big reasons was to why I wanted to start online coaching. Because of how good it is. You know, like a lot of people need direction. I needed that direction for years. And it wasn't until I was given that simple blueprint, the daily non-negotiables that I needed to do, you know, my macros, the way I train, all those things, the no drinking, all that I really started to become better and live a better fucking life. And that's what it's about. And anyway, so I spent 5 years at university studying civil engineering, and I was 2 years on the workforce before deciding to quit my job and going all in into my online business, which I was only doing for around 5 months at the time that I decided to take that huge leap of faith on myself. So I started my coaching late December, early November 2023, and I officially quit my engineering job around middle to end of April 2024. And the crazy thing, like, I didn't think it was possible to do such a big thing so early on. But why did I do it? Because I believed in myself, I backed myself, and I backed myself the whole way through. And even coming out here in Miami on 2 weeks notice for Wes's, my mentor's mastermind, I didn't know what I was in for. Like, I didn't expect this whole thing to be unfolded the way it was, like all these huge opportunities. I wasn't guaranteed any of this. I was only guaranteed the 2 days at the mastermind, but I've pretty much been with Wes, chilling with him and the guys every single fucking day. Why? Because I'm an asset, because of the person I've habitually constructed for years, being dialed in with my personal development blueprint. So the plan doesn't matter. It's what's more important than the plan is the man that acts upon the plan. Because it's never how you're gonna get anywhere in life. It's the person you are building who is gonna be capable of getting anywhere they choose to. And that's what I've done for myself, and that's what I do for all my people, all my clients. Man, life here is so fucking amazing, eh? But I do think I need to go back to Sydney, like, soon. Because the sooner I go back and start, you know, sorting out my visa, my full-time visa here, and a few other things, the quicker I can make the return back here. Like I was talking about in my old video, in my first video, like, I got to remove a couple of things, tattoos, and hopefully add a couple more too. And yeah, that's what it's about. Another thing that I want to talk about, I was in the car with Gas Money before, and I'm talking to him about, bro, like, how's all the people, like, in the world that sit there and they manifest about the good old days and how good they were in high school, or all the big wins they've had in their life. And it's like, bro, how sad is that? Imagine when you're having a conversation with someone else and all you can talk about is the past. You can't talk about the present, you can't talk about the future. You just sit there dwelling and reminiscing about the past and how good and fit you once were. When you didn't have all that fat, when you were more confident, more in love with yourself and your life, it's like, bro, all these people that are reminiscing about the good old days, they're in their fucking prime. They're like 35, 40 years old, maybe, talking about how good high school was and how fit they were in high school. It's like, bro, you're in your prime. Why are you sitting there wasting this one opportunity you're given at life, this current moment, sitting there dwelling on past wins or even failures, instead of focusing on the present moment, dialing yourself in with a blueprint and building yourself up into a better version of you? Like, for me, the past has already come and gone. We can't change that. What we can control is this current moment, what we choose to do with this moment. And we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our families or our future families to build ourselves up into a better fucking version of us. For me, there's no good old days. I'm living in the good old days now, and I'm habitually creating the good old days to come. Why? Because I'm dialed in with my personal development blueprint, and I know exactly what I need to do every single day that's going to create me into a better version of me. And I know through me getting better, my life's just going to get better. It's just what it is. Like, the good old days are to come, but you need to take action. Just because you're sitting there talking about, oh, I wasn't fat back then, I was fit back then. It's like, bro, you can become fit. You're just too fucking lazy and arrogant. You're too arrogant to realize you need help and you need guidance. Like I did for years. I needed guidance, but I didn't know who to look for. I didn't know what to start with. I was too lost. There was so much information online about fitness and about this and that, and I was trying all these different things, when all I needed was one mentor for me to go 110% in, 110% in on one mentor and master that plan. Too many people start one thing and they don't get any results in like 2 or so weeks, so they go and they try another thing and another thing. It's like, bro, macros are what works. The training for muscle hypertrophy is what works. Stop just going out on all these different information hunts or whatever. We don't have an educational issue, we have an application issue. You need to apply the blueprint that works, and through consistency, through application, through the right processes, you will get results. Trust me, like in anyone's journey, when they've ever started something, there will be a little bit of period in the beginning of their journey where they're still getting used to everything, that there won't be any initial compensation. But that is when people just give up because they're too attached to the end game, to the end result, instead of being process driven and showing up every day because they love their work, such as training, such as nutrition. A lot of people fall short on their diet. The diet is what's important, and like even how I spoke about in my last video, my big struggle here has been my nutrition. Like back at home, I'm eating the same, my macros are into the teeth. And here I've just been enjoying myself a little bit, like not worrying about too much, because I'm only meant to come here for like 4 weeks. Ended up staying nearly 2 months or whatever, it's how long it's been. And obviously, like, for me, this is fat. Like for me, this is really, really bad, and I don't even understand. Like I already wanna go back to Sydney, go back to being dialed in and really just focus and go tunnel vision. And like, compared to the rest of the world, this isn't even that bad. For me, it's horrible, but that just goes to show my standards. And like, how do people out there go all year with looking sloppy and like telling themselves like, oh, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, when they know it's fucking bad? They're running away from the truth, and by them also running away from the truth, they're also running away from their opportunity to make that fucking change. Love ain't lies. You gotta accept your situation and where you're at, and that is when you're gonna put in the work to change the predicament that you're in. Stop running away from the truth. I was running away from the truth for years. Like not progressing, taking 5 steps forward during the week and two massive steps back during the weekend, and it wasn't until I dropped all the things that didn't add value to my life, the alcohol, the drugs, the toxic, negative people that weren't in alignment with the life I wanted to live. You got to realize that. You got to work backwards. You got to figure out the person you want to become and the life you want to live. You got to dissect that situation, figure out the personal attributes of that person, the daily habits, and reverse engineer a process that will get you there. And if you can't do that, hire a coach, hire a mentor such as myself. Mentorship and coaching is the best thing, because you can either pay for it now temporarily in terms of finances to hire a coach, right, that's got the blueprint, or you'll be paying for it down the track through lost time, lost results, and lost opportunities by you being a lesser version of you at the time. I think about if I didn't do all the work to get me here, for this opportunity to be given to me, this whole experience, me driving in Wes's Bugatti, me being in all these exotic cars, these Lamborghinis, everything that people back at home, people back in Australia will never ever witness. Me living this once in a lifetime opportunity. Why? Because of the person I've created. Think about if I didn't take all that action on myself. Think about if I didn't quit engineering when I did. If I didn't come to Miami when I did. This would not have been possible. So let me ask you a question real quick. Think about all the opportunities you've missed out on by you choosing to be a lesser version of you, and you actively choosing to not do the work it takes for you to progress you and your life forward. Stop doing that to yourself. Realize you're worthy of more, and you can go and do so much fucking better than this position that you're in right now. But I know you know that. So why the fuck are you not putting in the work to change that, man? Is it because the people around you are average as fuck and they're telling you it's okay for you to be average? Fuck that! You can do more and you can become so much better. Do not be a victim of circumstance, and do not be a byproduct of your environment if it does not suit you. Life's what we make it. Imagine if I settled for the life in front of me. Engineering, all that. Imagine if I settled for the body that I hated, the life that I hated. Fuck that, man. We can all do so much better, eh? We can all do and become so much fucking better. But anyways, let's talk about me for a little bit. So, I don't even know if I even brought up all this stuff in the last video. I was born in Colombia, lived in Brazil. My mum's Australian, but her cultural background is Greek because she was born in Maroubra. My granddad from my mom's side, my papu, he was Greek. My yaya was Greek. And that's why my mom's cultural background is Greek. But she was born in Maroubra. She left Australia when she was 9 years old to move to New York because my granddad, who played professional football, got a job with the New York Cosmos. So she lived in New York for like 22 years, and then when she was like 30, she wanted to do her own thing. And then she met my dad, Mauro, I don't even call him my dad, on a sailing boat. They got together and they were just traveling. They were adventurers, they were free spirits, you know. They were traveling South America and then living in South America and traveling and adventuring, and that's where I was brought into the picture. And the whole goal for us, they were traveling and doing one lap of South America, and they were meant to do another lap, and I was meant to be raised in, I said Brazil once, but it's Cartagena. I've spoken to my mum since then. I was meant to be raised in Colombia, Cartagena, but it's crazy how one moment can change the whole trajectory of your life. And that moment, for me, was my parents splitting up. My mum packing her bags and going to Greece to live with my yaya and my papu, my mum's parents. And I lived in Greece for like 6 years, from the age of 4 to the age of 10. And I loved it, you know, but I've done a lot of moving growing up. So from South America to Greece, and when Greece went all bankrupt in 2007 or 2008, when we decided to leave when I was 10 years old, my mum made the choice to pack things up and move to Australia because she's Australian. And I'm an Australian as well because of that. So coming to Australia at 10 years old, didn't speak a word of English, and then, you know, 13 years later, when I was 23 years old, I graduated with a university degree in civil engineering. In high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was very good with maths, physics, all that, and I also did engineering studies. I did engineering studies in high school, which was the reason why I fell in love with civil engineering, because we did civil engineering as a module in high school, and which is why I decided to go to university at Wollongong. And when I start something, like I didn't even know if engineering was meant to be the thing for me, but I started something, and then 1 year became 2 years, 2 years became 3, and then through time, I'm just a very stubborn person. When I start something, it's mine, I need to finish it. So I finished it, and I loved that period of my life. You know, I was very big on partying, I was selling drugs at the time, I was selling a lot of cocaine. I was the party guy, you know, I had a lot of people around me that was living in the same lifestyle, that were living in alignment to that lifestyle, and that's fine. It was a great period of my life. I don't regret anything, because every decision I've ever made has led me exactly to this moment, and this is exactly where I am meant to fucking be. But long story short, you know, uni for 5 years, 2 years on the job. But for me, fitness has always been the way. Like I grew up playing football my whole life, soccer. And I took that love of sport towards bodybuilding, and hey, once I decided to subtract all the things that didn't add value to my life, that weren't in alignment with the life I wanted to live, that was the moment I started to see profound change in myself and my fucking life. You can never walk 2 paths at once. Commit to one path and go all fucking lean, and find a mentor, a coach that is at the top level in that field that you want to be in, and invest into them. And do whatever needs to be done to get you there. And that's what brought me out to Miami. And here we are. And this is the best part, you know, the best is yet to come. Don't settle for the life in front of you. Don't live your life in fear. Don't be stopped because of what other people may think or may not think about you. You've got this. Dial yourself in, put in the work, and it's yours for the fucking taking. Big love. Let's get it.